Coming to you live from the White Picket Studios in Houston, Texas, this is the Realty Ruckus. If you are in any way, shape, or form involved in the real estate industry, this is the show for you. And now, your host, Alan Hernandez.
Welcome to the Realty Ruckus out of the White Picket Realty Studios. I am your host, Alan Hernandez. Sitting next to me, David Bonilla. Actually, no, he's not here today.
No.
And Gibran Hernandez, your producers of the show. We are here to make sure that your real estate business is growing consistently every day right here with us over at White Picket Realty. Thank you guys for joining us. Don't forget that we love all of your likes, all of your happy faces, angry faces, trolling, whatever you want to do. Drop your comments, questions below so that we can talk to you live during the show today.
We're back in our studio.
We are back in our studio. It feels amazing. We finally have the majority of our office finished out. And it feels good. If you guys haven't been following us, you should know that our office did take in some water during Harvey, and we are still finishing it out. It's crazy how long it's taken, but man, it's I'm seeing what the process is to actually take out the sheetrock and put it back. And you know, considering that we're in a commercial space, it's a lot easier. I can't even imagine what people go through out there in a residential space when they're dealing with wood that's not treated and whatnot. And I don't want to get into that whole subject today because I know that there's a lot to talk about there, and that we've already had some of those conversations. But good news is our office is getting ready to be fully operational.
Finally,
Our agents are super excited. We've created our new co-work space for our agents. We're developing a new system where all of our agents get a chance to use the world as their office. Come in, use what we have here. We're going to have more training room. We're going to have a whole lot more additional services. So we're really excited to be back here. And thank you guys out there who have followed us and have encouraged us to continue our pursuit. So, all right, before we get started, I want to talk a little bit about something that happened to me when I first got into the industry.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay, so when I first got into the industry...
Is this one I already know or not?
No, you don't know this story.
Oh, wow.
This is a surprise. Surprise.
I don't know, but I like surprises.
So here's the deal. When I first got into the industry, I was, in my early 20s, and I remember going and working for my first brokerage,
Yeah.
and them sending me out to Orlando for training. And one of the training modules, the CEO walks in. The CEO walks in and says, if you guys want to make a lot of money, the minute that you leave this training, I want you to go to your nearest dealership, buy the most expensive car that you can afford,
Okay.
and send me a picture of it. You know, there's a bunch of young kids there. We were all excited. We were like, well, if the CEO told us we can do it, and, he might be right. He must be up to something,
Yeah.
So guess what I did?
You went out and bought the most expensive car.
I bought the most expensive car I could afford when I was in my early 20s. I went out and bought a BMW 530i. And I love that car. It was awesome.
I remember that one.
It was
yeah.
an amazing car. Till this day, I still miss that car, by the way, because it had the best AC that any car I've ever had has ever had. All right? But the point is, did it actually help me? Or did it just kind of keep me from being able to invest more in other items that I should have been investing? And so the question is, do you need, as an agent in this industry, do you need to buy a fancy car? Do you actually need to drive something fancy in order to be successful in the industry? And that's kind of what the argument is right now. There's articles out there and people that are arguing both sides. What do you think?
What do I think?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were asking the audience.
Well, yeah, the audience too. What do you guys
Yeah.
think? Well, first off, if I've heard different opinions from investors,
Yeah.
right? I've heard different opinions from agents.
And people, it's so funny because they just make up whatever they want to make up. There is no actual data behind it. People just say whatever it is that they're feeling. I've heard investors say before, oh, you can't drive a nice car to go to an appointment because the buyer's going to think that you've got a lot of money and is going to want you to pay more for it. It's just so ridiculous.
And then there's the other side. I've heard other investors say, well, if you drive a really beat up car, then they'll think you're broke and they're not going to
think that you're serious.
Yeah. So I mean, there is both ends of the spectrum there. But is there really a connection between, in real estate, driving something expensive, something nice, and finding more success? I mean, what would you think if you're selling your house? And I think about when I first hired my first real estate agent to sell my first home, right? Yeah. And I've told this story before. I went out, I was already licensed, but I wanted to see what other people were doing. So I actually hired a real estate agent to help me sell my first piece of property. But before I did that, I interviewed like 10 people.
Yeah.
And I remember looking outside of my door as people parked on my driveway just to see what their setup was. And I remember I don't remember thinking, oh, this guy drives a nice car and must be great. But I do remember looking at the car and seeing, if it was at least washed or junky or falling apart or filled or just stacked with trash inside or something. I mean, would you want to work with someone like that? I don't
know. That's a good question. We'll keep talking about that when we get back from the break. We do have to jump to a quick commercial break. You're on the Realty Ruckus. We'll be right back.
Hey everyone, this is David over at White Picket Realty, and I wanted to tell you about my friends over at Plans Express who can save you the headache of running your own permits. These guys are committed to offering a one-stop solution for all your plan and permit needs. They're proudly serving their friends and neighbors in the Houston surrounding areas, and they offer great service at an exceptional value. With dedicated professionals ready to serve, contact them today at 832-675-6217.
Hey Houston, this is Alan Hernandez, and I want to remind you guys to visit our friends over at Quest IRA to learn everything there is to learn about investing with your IRA. Now, if you haven't been over there recently, you have to check them out. They have free educational classes, networking opportunities, the ability to tap into $1 billion for your real estate investing deals. These are the guys to know when it comes to learning about this kind of stuff. You want to make sure you visit them and check them out over at www.questira.com. Again, that's questira.com.
Stop searching and start staying in the know with our Houston Real Estate Events page on Facebook. Follow us by searching at Houston Real Estate Events to stay up to date on the latest events for real estate in the Houston area. If you are interested in having your event on our page, please email me at david@whitepicketrealty.com. Again, that's david@whitepicketrealty.com. Non-paid events only. One more time, find us on Facebook at Houston Real Estate Events, and we'll see y'all at the next one.
What do you love about White Picket?
I love that we work together as a team.
I love being professional while having fun.
I love the innovative approach we take every day.
I love the support we get to grow our business.
We love White Picket.
And I love empowering the next generation of realtors to live life by their own design. If you're looking to grow, come grow with us. Email join@teamwpr.com. Again, that's join@teamwpr.com.
And we are back on Realty Ruckus. Remember that you can find us on Facebook and YouTube where you chat with us live during the show. We can answer your questions live on the air. Now, we're going to go ahead and do the weather here. Alan, what's the weather going to be like this week?
The weather is going to be amazing. I can't wait to get out there and go biking. That's all I got for weather today, you guys.
Alan is not much of a weatherman, guys. I apologize. That's what you get. He's going to be amazing, and he will go biking.
You get what you get here. If the weather is good, I'm going biking. Hopefully, if you guys are listening and like biking, you're welcome to join us. That's what we're going to be up to. So before we went on break, BB's going to pull up the weather real quick, but before we went on break, we started talking about whether you actually need a fancy ride to be successful in real estate. And
so today it's a high of 90. It looks like it's going to be 73 tonight. And then we're back in the 90s the rest of the week.
We got some 90s and some 70s. That's pretty good.
70s at night, 90s in the day.
Hey.
That's still, how is that pretty good? It's supposed to be winter already, or it's supposed to be almost winter.
We're supposed to be pushing some winter weather, but that never happens. We're going to get like 5 days of cold this year, just like we've been getting the last few years.
Well, we already ate up one of them, so we have 4 left.
All right. So let's finalize this. Do you need a fancy car? Yes or no? What do you guys think? Drop your comments, questions below. Is it a necessary thing to have in this industry?
To me, it all depends on what matters to you. Because look, I've met a guy before. Is probably one of the richest people I've ever met. He's very close to being a billionaire, not millionaire. And I actually ran into him at a property one time, and he was driving like a 1992 beat up pickup truck.
Yeah.
Was wearing shorts. I mean, he looked like he was going to be the guy working on the rehab itself. So there's just some people who they don't care. They don't care about what image that they have out there in the market. Now, he was an investor.
Hang on. You said this guy was a millionaire close to being a billionaire.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's kind of like when you meet someone who's really, really good at what they do and they dress really, really funky, they're considered eccentric.
That's true. You're right about that.
But if you meet someone who sucks at everything in life and they dress funky,
then they're a loser.
Then they're just losers.
They're just
right?
weird.
So that's pretty much how that works.
I mean, it's true. I mean, when a guy like Elon Musk says something crazy like, "Oh, I want to colonize Mars," everyone thinks that he's cool.
Yeah.
When the guy down the street, homeless guy down the street, says, "I want to colonize Mars,"
everyone thinks he's on
drugs.
Like,
"Oh my God, he must be on drugs again." Yeah, you're right. So I guess a piece of that has to deal with what level of success you've already found.
Yeah.
Now, I also think it has to do with what you're dealing with, though. If you're dealing with a bunch of high-end clients, you're going to have to get on their level. You can't show up to their house in a 1992 Toyota Celica.
If you're flipping high-end homes, maybe?
I would say if you're an investor, I don't think it really matters what the heck you drive. And this whole idea that like home sellers look out and they see what kind of car you're driving. If you have a really nice one, they expect you to pay more.
Yeah.
I don't believe that either.
Yeah.
Because I think that all comes down to how good you are negotiating. Your car is not part of the negotiation. Whether you show up driving I think it almost hurts you to show up driving a really, really old beater because it's like, does he really have the cash? I mean, look at the car he's driving.
On the investment side.
Yeah. And with the realtor, I mean.
What about the listing side?
I think it matters, but I don't think you have to drive something. I don't think you have to have a $100,000 car. I think you can get away with a really nice Honda. I mean, just don't drive a big old beat up car if you're going to be driving clients around.
No, I get that. And you know, these days when you're in real estate, I hope you're not actually driving clients around. I mean, that's just my
there's
hope.
still people who do that. There's plenty of
hope.
people out there who drive clients around. And
that actually like put them in their car?
Yes, I've heard about it.
And drive them from house to house?
Yes. One of my best friends, you actually know him. I won't say who it is because he watches the show, but one of my best friends, he recently bought a house.
Yeah.
And this is a crazy story. We're going to talk. This has nothing to do with driving, what kind of car you drive. But his realtor drove a BMW X5.
Yeah.
But she actually took him and his wife.
Yeah.
And she had to have her daughter with her all day. It was like her 8-year-old daughter in the back seat while they drove around and looked at houses. And
You're kidding.
He was like, dude, I'm going to lose my shit, man. I'm going crazy here.
Oh, man. I'm sorry for your friend.
Yeah, so people still drive around, and some realtors, they just don't know.
I'm sorry for your friend, but mostly sorry for that realtor.
Oh, yeah.
Because she does not enjoy what she does, man. I can guarantee you that, even if you have an X5 or whatever. Look, here's the thing. I like driving a nice car.
Yeah,
I've always liked it.
Driving a nice car makes you feel good.
I think that's what it comes down to for me.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily that I think the client needs to see it or the client needs to have it. It's how am I going to feel on the way to visit that client? And I don't care whether it's a seller of a beater, junk house or the seller of $1 million house. It doesn't really matter to me because I want to get there and feel good. I want to know that I went there and I didn't have to worry about not having AC or whatever the heck it was. I want to go there and feel great so that I can give that great vibe.
I agree with you, and that just has to deal with how good you feel about yourself. You show up feeling like $1 million. You show up feeling confident. You feel great about it. So yeah, driving the nice car on the way there, I think it can change your mindset.
Well, for some people might say, well, a car doesn't really make me feel anything at all. For me, it happens to really...
You know why? Because those people have never been in a nice car.
Maybe that's what it is.
I really do feel like that, man, because my girlfriend, she watches the show. I'm going to out her for a second here. But she used to say, I don't care what kind of car I drive.
Yeah.
I don't care what kind of car I drive. And then we went to go take a test drive in a Tesla.
Yeah.
And she was like, I want a Tesla like now. I want it right now. So, yes, it does matter. Once you've been in a really nice car, you feel different in there.
Absolutely.
It's like, whoa, I feel really good.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right, so let me know what you guys think. Let us know.
Christopher Lindsay said the same thing. He said, driving a nice car, is it necessary? No. Can it help you look and feel successful and accomplished? Of course, yeah. And I agree with him completely.
Absolutely. And when you've made your millions and billions, then you can drive whatever
the hell
you want and just be called eccentric, right?
That guy's so eccentric. I can't believe that.
Look at that old truck he's driving. Look at that. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about somebody who actually is getting ready to go to jail. Nobody really likes to talk about that.
We're getting ready to go to commercial break, but if you want to tease it a little bit,
I do. I want to tell them a little bit about a realtor who is getting ready to serve 4 years in prison.
4 years.
Prison.
Not probation.
Like, this is the big boy prison, right?
This is federal. This is jail.
Yeah, the real deal.
Yeah, like the real one.
He must have really messed with the wrong people.
Oh, and
or
by
done
the
something
way,
really bad.
Was it a man or was it a woman?
I don't
Because
know.
It may have been a woman.
I
on
don't
this
know,
one.
but I can tell you they made a lot of money and now they're going to jail for it. So we're going to give you guys a little bit more information. We do have to take a quick commercial break. You're on the Realty Ruckus. We'll be right back.
Hey everyone, this is David over at White Picket Realty, and I wanted to tell you about my friends over at Plans Express who can save you the headache of running your own permits. These guys are committed to offering a one-stop solution for all your plan and permit needs. They're proudly serving their friends and neighbors in the Houston surrounding areas, and they offer great service at an exceptional value. With dedicated professionals ready to serve, contact them today at 832-675-6217.
Hey Houston, this is Alan Hernandez, and I want to remind you guys to visit our friends over at Quest IRA to learn everything there is to learn about investing with your IRA. Now, if you haven't been over there recently, you have to check them out. They have free educational classes, networking opportunities, the ability to tap into $1 billion for your real estate investing deals. These are the guys to know when it comes to learning about this kind of stuff. You want to make sure you visit them and check them out over at www.questira.com. Again, that's questira.com.
Stop searching and start staying in the know with our Houston Real Estate Events page on Facebook. Follow us by searching at Houston Real Estate Events to stay up to date on the latest events for real estate in the Houston area. If you are interested in having your event on our page, please email me at david@whitepicketrealty.com. Again, that's david@whitepicketrealty.com. Non-paid events only. One more time, find us on Facebook at Houston Real Estate Events, and we'll see y'all at the next one.
What do you love about White Picket?
I love that we work together as a team.
I love being professional while having fun.
I love the innovative approach we take every day.
I love the support we get to grow our business.
We love White Picket.
And I love empowering the next generation of realtors to live life by their own design. If you're looking to grow, come grow with us. Email join@teamwpr.com. Again, that's join@teamwpr.com.
And we are back on Realty Ruckus. Remember that you can find us live on Facebook and YouTube, where if you chat with us during the show, we can answer your questions live on the air. Now, before we went to break, we started talking about a realtor. Could be a man, could be a woman, but they went to jail. That's all that we know. And they went to jail for 4 years, or they just got 4 years.
Yep.
And let's go ahead and let's break down. Let's say, what happened here? What did they do wrong? It's very obvious what they did wrong once we tell you the story.
All right. So the good news is, here's some good news for everyone out there. The good news is it did not happen in Houston.
Okay, good.
All right?
Yeah.
The bad news is this is a fellow realtor. This is someone out there who was representing clients, representing their best interests.
And it was a man, by the way, for those of you who are just on the edge of your seats trying to figure out if this was a man or woman. It was a man. His name is Ignacio Beto, and he's from Hazleton, Pennsylvania.
Yep.
And so what happened is he actually conned people out of a total of $750,000 in a wire fraud scheme. And this is what's crazy to me. This scheme went on for almost 2 full years.
Yeah.
He was doing this for almost 2 years, and it's crazy the way he was doing it. So I guess one day he woke up and decided, I'm going to start telling people that I have like special access to FHA properties that are under foreclosure, and I can sell it to them with a special agreement straight from the government. And in exchange, all they have to do is fund me, give me some money into my bank account, and then they'll get to keep the property.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's just
Okay,
so
okay,
bizarre.
so-
I don't know
so-
how he even got people to believe him.
So let me guess. He starts targeting people who are looking for like a deal.
He starts targeting for first-time home buyers who need a deal, who need special financing, and
Yeah.
so he's like, "Hey, you know what? I've got special access to like these conventional mortgage homes and these FHA homes," and he really didn't. They didn't exist.
So he made up this whole thing that he had this special access, and in the process of that, he finds it looks like 33 people who want to
20
buy
people and 33 houses.
33 houses.
So I guess some of these people
Bought
were like,
more.
"Hey, we should buy too. Like this program is amazing.
This is the best deal ever. I can pick up a house for $20,000 or something, right?"
And this is what really, I guess, this is what really upset me. He was targeting people that only spoke Spanish.
Oh.
So he was going after naivety. He was going after, oh, I can get you to trust me. Yeah, I'm going to do this because you don't speak English. you're not educated, and I'm going to jump all over that. And to me, that's this whole story. That's what bothers me the most is taking advantage of people who just are uneducated. Because as a realtor, that's what your job is to educate clients.
You're licensed so that you can help those people.
Exactly. Not take advantage of them.
Yeah.
And so people were actually paying this guy. They were paying him directly sums for the properties, and then they were moving into the properties, but they didn't own them. He didn't even have the properties to sell. I guess it was kind of like one of these Atlanta schemes where the houses are vacant and he's just moving all of these fake vacant houses. Mm-hmm. And then I guess he got really comfortable because he did this for 2 years.
He probably thought he was never going to get caught.
At some point, he must have thought that. It's crazy to me that somebody can get away with this that long, though, before the government jumps in and goes, whoa, wait a minute, what in the world is going on here?
All right, so what did he do with the money? Because the Internal Revenue Service was only able to seize $35,000 from his bank account.
Yeah, which means he'd spent almost all of it already.
And then he was only ordered to give back $65,000?
Yeah, so he has to pay $65,000 in restitution, and people are complaining about that. They're saying, whoa, wait a minute, that's not enough. He stole $750,000. He's got to do something about that. And so, and it says here that the low restitution amount is due to the fact that most of the victims are unknown. So a lot of these people probably didn't have Social Security numbers. They were probably illegal, and he was targeting the most naive person out there, somebody who doesn't even have papers to legally buy a property.
How does it affect the brand that he was representing? He was actually licensed with Weichert Realtors.
Yeah, a Trademark Realty Group, I think, is the team under Weichert Realtors that he was working with. Mm-hmm. Man, I feel like if you own the real estate company that has somebody doing this, you have to jump way ahead of this and go into total PR mode.
Right.
You
almost have to have like a PR person in place just to like separate and distance yourself from.
Let's just think about this for a second. What happens if one of White Picket's agents wound up like Ignacio Bito? What would White Picket do?
You're right. We would have to go into direct PR mode just to save the brand. I mean, it's crazy how people don't realize things like this. One agent's actions
affect everyone.
Oh
yeah, think about it, man. Everyone who's part of that Trademark Realty Group, you may as well leave your license and go somewhere else, because as soon as you walk into somebody's house, they're going, whoa, Trademark Realtor, I heard about Ignacio. I don't know about this, man. I better look for something else.
What's his last name? Ignacio what?
Betty? B-E-A?
Ignacio Bito.
Bito.
Man, he's going to get a Bito in jail, that's for sure.
Oh, God.
There's a big Mr. Bito in there for him, for sure, for that, man. You know what? These guys, they're really farther past than scum, in my opinion, because of what they're doing. They're taking advantage of the people that really trusted them. And you know what it is with the Hispanic community? They think, I'm dealing with another Hispanic. This guy's going to take me to some notary, which, you know, in every other country, notaries actually have some sort of say and power. And they believe anything that someone tells them.
So Vanessa says, how about change the name? That's what Ruggles Green is doing. I'm not familiar with what's going on with Ruggles Green.
So apparently Ruggles Green went through a little bit of a PR problem. I don't actually know the details, but they
interesting.
Are,
I didn't know about
essentially just changing their entire name.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. Yeah, I guess. And that's, if I was part of Trademark Realty, probably one of the first things I do is I think I'd consider changing my name if I couldn't get ahead of the PR problem.
Yeah.
Because it is a big problem. I mean, every realtor now is going to be associated. Not only that, just by being in the same brokerage, I guarantee you that they were all being investigated.
Oh, yeah.
Too, which sucks because now you've got police officers coming, knocking on your door. They want to look at your files. They want to, and it's like, whoa, wait a minute. This is a total invasion of privacy.
You know, speaking of that, I remember when we found a dead guy. It was like 2005, 2006 at a house in 3rd Ward.
I love how casually you say that. You remember when we found that dead body at that house?
We found a dead body at a house, and everyone in the brokerage got investigated. Like we were all suspects for a while.
You are a suspect at that point. I mean, everyone at this brokerage had to be a suspect because you don't know who's there and who's being legitimate, who's doing the real realtor stuff, and who was involved with him. Now, luckily, it appears that this was an isolated incident, as they would say. It was just him working alone.
Yeah.
But still, it's a huge, major PR issue.
Here's the thing, though. There's still going to be some liability on that broker.
Yeah.
The broker of record is going to take some liability.
Well, and that's my question is, how did the broker not become aware that there was something funky going on for over 2 years. That, I do have to question that.
Man, I gotta think that this guy must have been like running this outside of the office, maybe meeting the client.
But you don't think that at least some of these people showed up to complain, like, hey, wait a minute. This I don't own this
I met
property.
with one of your realtors.
Yeah.
He took me those. Yeah, you're right.
The second I get a report like that, it's like, hey, immediately you need to come here. We got to have a conversation.
Think about it. Think about when the whole foreclosure crisis happened in 2000. It was about 2006 to 2008 when I remember seeing tons of vacant properties in places like Atlanta.
Yeah.
And there were some unscrupulous realtors out there who were leasing those properties and collecting full amounts of rent as if those properties were paid off, and security deposits, like as if those houses were theirs.
Yeah.
Remember that?
I remember that.
And you know what? They did it for probably a good year or two before anybody said anything or they got caught.
And they got lucky because the banks they didn't have enough BPOs to go out there and actually look at every single property. So there were houses that they thought were sitting vacant, but they were actually being leased.
Yeah.
The person would go in, turn the utilities on, and then lease them out.
Yeah.
And the people that were paying were getting screwed. And now there's a Craigslist scam that came up right after that. I don't know if you remember the Craigslist scam, wherever they take your property, and if you're a realtor, you do need to watch out for this because this happened to us recently, not in the past. This is recent, but they go out and they put your property on Craigslist.
Yep.
You'll have it for like $3,200 a month or $2,500 a month, something high, and they'll put it on there for like $800 a month.
Yeah.
And then they'll take a security deposit to secure the house. And of course, that person can't move in because they're not the real owner. They can never sign a real lease.
Well, how about what happened to us on the Munford property? Do you remember that one? Where they posted it on Craigslist for half of the price that we had it on MLS.
Oh, that's right. For sale. And you had people like, I want it right now.
My phone started blowing up, man. It wouldn't stop ringing. It was people nonstop saying, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to put a deposit down.
Yep.
And so I had somebody text the guy and be like, hey, I want to buy it too. And his response was, meet my attorney at this place and bring $5,000 to put your deposit. I have no clue how much money he raised doing that, and hopefully he got caught because we called the police immediately.
Wow, man, that's just crazy that people can get away with that. And to me, it's the amount of time, because if this guy had done it once, twice, 3 times, but it's almost like he's getting away with it, Hey, why not? Another 20 grand here, another 30 grand there.
Well, heck, in 2 years he made $750,000
off of 20 people.
Off of 20 people.
That means he took about what 35 grand from each person, something like that.
It's crazy that he made that much before somebody kind of had to just chime in and ring the bell, and it was eventually somebody just got annoyed, I'm sure, and maybe reported it to Trek or something, and that's maybe what
to their board. Yeah, that's
maybe
37,500. That's 37.5 from each individual.
Here's the thing. If this guy is as talented as he seems, because he obviously orchestrated something that took some thought, would it have been really that difficult for him to create something that made him $37,000 a month?
No, that's what's nuts to me, man. I say this about criminals all the time. If they would use their powers for good, they would probably be pretty successful.
They might actually be successful.
Because being a criminal takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of overtime work because you're constantly having to clean up your crap so that you don't get busted like this guy.
Yep.
And who knows how long they were on his trail. I mean, maybe it all happened within the first year, and then the next year he was just kind of running on the lam, trying to stay out of the limelight. But
yeah.
It's pretty crazy to me that he was able to get away with it for so long.
So we're going to drop this down below for you guys. You guys are welcome to take a look at it, but share your comments, questions, and concerns with us. Let us know what you think of this guy. Feel free to send this guy a letter over at his new place where he's at, letting him know what you think about him.
The Pennsylvania County Jail. No, it's not county. I'm not sure which one he's going to. It doesn't say.
Absolutely. So when we get back, we got to take a quick commercial break, but when we get back, we want to talk about something that is going to revolutionize the ad spending that we are making to collect leads. It's going to change the game. You guys want to stay tuned. We'll be right back. You're on the Realty Ruckus.
Hey everyone, this is David over at Picket Realty, and I wanted to tell you about my friends over at Plans Express, who can save you the headache of running your own permits. These guys are committed to offering a one-stop solution for all your plan and permit needs. They're proudly serving their friends and neighbors in the Houston surrounding areas, and they offer great service at an exceptional value. with dedicated professionals ready to serve. Contact them today at 832-675-6217.
Hey Houston, this is Alan Hernandez, and I want to remind you guys to visit our friends over at Quest IRA to learn everything there is to learn about investing with your IRA. Now, if you haven't been over there recently, you have to check them out. They have free educational classes, networking opportunities, the ability to tap into $1 billion for your real estate investing deals. These are the guys to know when it comes to learning about this kind of stuff. You want to make sure you visit them and check them out over at www.questira.com. Again, that's questira.com.
Stop searching and start staying in the know with our Houston Real Estate Events page on Facebook. Follow us by searching at Houston Real Estate Events to stay up to date on the latest events for real estate in the Houston area. If you are interested in having your event on our page, please email me at david@whitepicketrealty.com. Again, that's david@whitepicketrealty.com. Non-paid events only. One more time, find us on Facebook at Houston Real Estate Events, and we'll see y'all at the next one.
What do you love about White Picket?
I love that we work together as a team.
I love being professional while having fun.
I love the innovative approach we take every day.
I love the support we get to grow our business.
We love White Picket.
And I love empowering the next generation of realtors to live life by their own design. If you're looking to grow, come grow with us. Email join@teamwpr.com. Again, that's join@teamwpr.com.
And we are back on Realty Ruckus. Remember that you can find us live on Facebook and YouTube, wherever you chat with us during the show. We can answer your questions live on the air. Now, before we went to break, we were talking about the realtor that just went to jail. And we do want to talk a little bit about Hurricane Irma, Hurricane Harvey, the lingering effects. And we won't talk about it for a very long time because we want to get into telling you about new lead solutions that are coming out that are going to stomp Zillow truly. I think it's finally going to be the dragon slayer, as they say.
I can't wait to tell you about a phone call I got the other day. But first, let's talk about the recovery times for Harvey and Irma. And here's the thing. Everyone right now wants to know how long it's going to take. Yeah. Everyone is worried about what's it going to be like. I mean, and if we had a crystal ball, you know, we would probably be doing something else other than real estate. But the truth is, we can at least guesstimate what's going to happen. Yep. And we found a great article to give you guys an idea on what some of those guesstimates might look like. Now, if you guys have another opinion, make sure to drop it down below, along with hitting that like button or that heart button for anything that you like that you're hearing. All right, so what does it actually look like for us here?
So they went through and they estimated it based off of the amount of spend and what the cleanup period was, and then the actual recovery period. So they went back. Now, the last one that affected Houston was Hurricane Ike. Now, Hurricane Ike cost about $34.8 billion in recovery, and the cleanup period for that one was 1 month. So it took about a month to clean up from it. But the recovery period, and this is what I thought was really interesting, was 16 months, which is really high when you consider the fact that Hurricane Sandy, this is the one that hit New Jersey, cost $70.2 billion. So we're talking about double the amount of damage. And cost-wise, the cleanup period was 3 months, which that makes sense. You had double the damage. It takes a lot longer. It's going to be almost exponential in the amount of time it takes to clean up. But the recovery period for Hurricane Sandy was only 8 months. So it was a really, really, really short recovery period, given the amount of damage.
They had double the damage.
Yeah, they had double the damage.
It took 3 times more to clean up.
Yeah.
But they recovered in 8 months instead of 16 months.
And I wonder what that says about that New Jersey area real estate market.
Yeah.
I think that it has a lot to do with the fact that, one, the cost was probably high because real estate out there is really expensive.
Yeah.
So that's got to be one of the big things. Now, the second part to that, I think, is also the fact that there's probably a huge demand for housing. So it's you get it up as fast as you can to get it back on the market. You don't have a flood of housing like you do here in Houston, where, okay, fine, you can't live in the inner city, you just go a little bit further out and you've got 10 million houses on the outskirts of town.
Right. All right, but then we get into like Irma and we get into Harvey.
Well, yeah, and so they started comparing Harvey and Irma more to Hurricane Katrina.
Yeah.
Now, given, obviously, Hurricane Katrina was probably the most severe storm ever to hit the U.S. mainland. It cost $160 billion to clean up. And the cleanup period alone for Hurricane Katrina was 5 months.
Yeah.
And it took 18 months before the real estate market had finally made its full recovery, and the city was back up and running. So it took about 18 months. Now, let's get into Harvey, because that's the one that matters to us. Here is Hurricane Harvey. It just passed. What can we expect? Well, they're saying $180 billion in damage.
Yeah. So we exceeded what happened with Katrina.
Yeah, we have now, Hurricane Harvey will be the most expensive natural disaster to ever hit the United States.
Incredible. Now, the estimate on recovery is only 3 months.
The cleanup.
I'm sorry.
Time, yeah.
Cleanup, yeah.
Yeah, the estimate for the cleanup time is only 3 months, which I don't know.
That seems short to me.
It seems really short to me because you go drive around, there's still neighborhoods that have sheetrock piled in front of them still.
Yeah.
And the city, I mean, for example, they've got trash service going like at half speed. They're not doing any of the recycling pickup. The city is still in disarray, and we're already a month and a half removed from the storm. So 3 months to me seems really, really quickly. Maybe it will, but maybe it won't. I don't know.
I think they underestimated that one by a little bit.
I think so too. I want to say it's probably going to be closer to 4 to 5 months before we get fully cleaned up.
Yeah.
And then this one's the one that I find interesting though, because they're saying that the actual recovery period for Hurricane Harvey, they're estimating 20 months, which is longer than Katrina. I feel like the Houston economy is strong enough to get through that faster.
Man, I don't know. I feel like every time that we have some sort of situation that jolts the industry, there's usually about a 2-year recovery phase.
Got it. Okay.
And so I feel like 20 months is being conservative. I think.
So you think 20 months is conservative?
Yeah,
okay.
I think 20 months is about the minimum that we're going to see. I think it could essentially be just a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
And we're seeing it in some of our listings that we have right now. We have properties that didn't flood where people are worried about buying them because of the flooding that happened around them.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about that in the last episode or few episodes ago, is the stigma that comes from being a flood house.
Yeah.
And I didn't believe it. I did not believe it at all. That if your house didn't flood, I didn't think that it'd have a stigma attached to it. And I thought that it would sell relatively quickly. And what we're seeing is that it doesn't matter whether your house took water or not. If houses around you took water, you're now stigmatized as a flood area.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily that you're a flood house, but you are a flood area. And we're not talking about the FEMA maps and all of that, because now we know that those are BS. You had 100-year flood areas that took 0 water, and you had 500-year floodplains that took 6-7 feet of water. So the flood maps, you got to go back to the drawing board on those.
Oh, definitely.
But when we talk about houses that flooded, I mean, it's becoming, even if your neighbor's house flooded and you didn't, you're in the same position now. And that really surprised me. I did not expect that at all.
Absolutely. Let us know what you guys think, what your estimates are on the recovery time here in Houston, what you're seeing out there in the neighborhoods that you're driving, that you're showing, that you're selling in, or maybe buying in. We want to know what you guys are seeing out there. Give us some feedback on that. Now, we promised everyone that we were going to talk about a game changer.
Yes, and I really like this one, man. I do think that this is going to be a game changer. I think that this is going to make a major impact in the way that people are running ads, and I think it's going to eat up a market share that Zillow has been fighting for. And
I got a call from Zillow the other day.
Oh, you got a call from Zillow?
I got to tell you about this call.
Tell us about the call from Zillow.
I got a call from Zillow. It's the sales guy from Zillow, right?
Okay, yeah.
I got his number recorded on my phone, and it says scam likely. So I never really answer it. But this time I decided to answer, right? And I was hoping he'd give me the, hey, how are you doing? So I could be like, well, my dog died, even though I don't own a dog.
You love that. We went to a training, and they told Alan, they didn't tell Alan, they told the group, they said, look, anytime someone answers the phone, don't ever say, how are you doing?
Yeah.
Because you're setting yourself up for them actually telling you how they're actually doing.
Yeah. Well, no, it sets you up for having a very surface-like conversation, because everyone more than likely will always be like, oh, I'm doing great. But they don't ever tell you more than that. Or they might actually tell you, my dog died.
Yeah, and then you gotta be able to really roll with some punches when you go down that road.
Well, I've done it a bunch of times, and I love the reactions. Anyway, he goes, well, how are you doing? So I gave him the oh my dog died thing, and of course he was like, well, I don't know how to respond to that, but I got to tell you about this amazing promotion that we have here at Zillow. They're going to be giving a guarantee for a set of leads. And then if you don't close anything, they won't charge you for the 6 months afterwards. That's what he was pitching me. So it sounded interesting, but he goes, can you just tell me why you haven't done business with us in the last 2 years? It looks like you spent a lot of money with us at one point. And I said, I got a chance to tell him this. I really should.
By the way, Sharonda says that she'll be the one to tell you how she's really feeling. She'll let you know.
Exactly. That's what we're talking about. I got a chance to tell the guy, we don't like Zillow. We think you guys suck.
Oh, you told him that?
Yeah, it felt great. It felt great. And
he was
like, what are you guys talking, or what are you talking about? I'm like, you are not for the realtor's benefit. You are not helping anyone. You're here trying to take what we are doing for the industry.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I know this is not you. I know you're just making a sales call, but I want you to know who you represent and why we don't want to do business with you. And I hope everyone you call tells you the same thing.
Yeah.
And the guy was stunned, man. The guy was like, all right, man, I get it.
I guarantee you never gets honesty like that.
Yeah. So anyway, we think that Facebook is going to kill Zillow.
I think so, man. Look, Zillow, they're struggling. They're still not profitable. There's companies out there like Redfin that are profitable. And now you have Facebook. And between Facebook, we've been saying this for a while now, but between Facebook and Google, they control 50% of all marketing. We're not talking about digital marketing. We're talking about all marketing, period. And they control 50% of it across the United States. So they're going to make a big impact because now what they're doing is they're doing this thing called lead ads, right?
Yeah.
And the way that it works is you create an ad just like you would for anything else, but rather than link it to your website,
yeah, or your Facebook page,
people go through there, ooh, I like that, and they click it, and immediately Facebook captures all their contact information, fills it into a form, and then you can use apps like Zapier or Connectify to actually put them together to your CRM and have those leads go straight to your CRM system, which means that, and here's the biggest thing, all of those ads are 100% mobile friendly.
Yeah.
And Facebook just announced that 90% of their ad traffic of their daily active users, are mobile users.
Yep.
They're not desktop users. So all those things, those beautiful ads that you create that are for desktop, no one is seeing them. 10% of all the users are seeing them.
This brings me back to something that we're doing here at the office.
Yeah.
We have gotten rid of desktop computers. I mean, who the heck really uses a desktop anymore, right?
Unless you're like doing some video edit, and I'm talking about, when I say video editing, I don't mean like your Windows Movie Maker.
Yeah. No,
video
like
editing. I'm talking about like Pixar. You know, you're creating like full-on digital videos.
You might actually
I don't see why you would need a desktop computer.
In real estate, you don't need one. In fact, if you have one, it's a hindrance. It holds you back for you having to go to that office or go to your house to actually use a file or something that you left there, whatever it is. In real estate, it's right now it's a laptop, right?
Yeah.
But the reality is, I just picked up this thing. This is the Note 8. This thing turns into a computer. You put it into a docking station, and it loads into a monitor, and you can use it just like a computer.
Yeah.
This is the future. This is where every realtor is going to end up going. You walk into any office, you set it in the docking station, done. You rock and roll, you go, and you can use any app on there.
Oh, they even have portable screens now that make your phone a laptop.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a screen literally. It pops up and comes out. I saw it's being released in like 2018, so it's already next year. Little bitty portable screens that you just pull out right there.
Oh, dude, I love it. You know I'm going to have that one as soon as it's released.
Yeah, if you guys don't know Alan, we call him the gadget master, because as soon as a new gadget comes out.
As soon as it comes out, I got to have it.
And I get excited for his wife because she gets to get all the old gadgets that he doesn't want anymore.
She's got pretty good gadgets. All right, so yeah, everybody's going to move towards watching ads or seeing advertisements on their phone.
And it's already 90%.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about, and Instagram is 99%. If you're running an ad on Instagram and it's not optimized for mobile, then you're just wasting your money, because Instagram is 99%.
That's where most of the viewers are anyway.
Exactly. So you got 90% active users Facebook. Now, what's amazing about this, though, is what I was saying earlier, that it automatically captures all of the contact information for you. And guess what? People put their real contact information into Facebook.
Yep.
Because you have to verify it in order to get the account.
So you're going to get an actual lead. with
You're
real
going to get
contact
a
info.
real lead with real contact info.
Not the crap that you get from Zillow.
You get a real people from Zillow, but half of them were like, wait, I don't even remember being on a Zillow website.
Yeah.
How did you get my information?
Yeah. I was just on there to check my value. We're like,
exactly.
oh, no,
it's
don't
always
do
somebody.
that.
Always on Zillow is somebody trying to fight their property taxes.
Yeah.
I was just looking up my home value so I can find my property taxes.
Can you imagine walking into the property tax place and being like, hey, well, my Zestimate told me it was worth a whole lot less?
I would love to know how many people actually do that.
Yeah.
We should bring.
And what do those people tell them?
Yeah, right. I would love to know what the county's appraisers say to that when people go in there. Well, look at here now. Isn't that what you always say?
Yeah. Well, look at here.
I went on Zillow and it said my Zestimate says my house is worth $400,000.
So just my taxes right now. Imagine what those guys are saying.
Oh my!
I love it. All right, so Facebook lead ads. They are targeting realtors, and it's because they're finding that realtors are going to use a whole lot less money, collect a whole lot more leads, and they're going to be real people, real leads, real contact information. So is there a chance that by realtors removing their funding from Zillow that they may actually bring it to Facebook and then just kind of abandon the old Zillow platform?
Look, I believe, and I really, really, truly believe this. I think that Zillow, Trulia, is a dying breed. I think that people keep pumping money into it. I don't understand why. And I think it's going to be gone soon. I don't think it'll make it past the next 5 years.
Yeah.
And I think that when Facebook comes out, and this is the thing, Facebook is becoming like the world's biggest monopoly in everything.
Yeah.
And so anything that works, they take it and they put it into their platform. They have the most active users of any app out there. They're gonna kill it, and this is what they're doing. They're literally killing off the giant killer, which is Zillow.
You know, and there's already companies that already kind of conceded on this space. I mean, look at Redfin.
Yeah.
You know, Redfin went from being in the world of what would you call it? Was it digital marketing for a little while?
Redfin was trying to be another Zillow Trulia.
Yeah.
And the great thing about them is they finally realized that wasn't going to work.
No.
And so they went and they kind of moved into the brokerage side of it, where they're a brokerage and they have. We talked about this a few episodes ago.
Oh, and if you want to hear our opinion on what we think about Redfin, you can always look back at one of our episodes. I think it's actually the episode 2 previous.
Yeah, I think it's episode 126 or 125. Yeah. So what you're listening to now is episode 128.
Can you believe we've done 128 episodes?
I can't, man. I didn't think that we'd get past like number 10. I'm surprised that we didn't kill each other before number
no joke.
128.
Because if you don't follow us, then you don't know that right before every episode, Gibran and I usually find a way to strangle each other and then somehow find a way to make a show that's entertaining
By
for
the
you
time
guys.
the stuff that you guys hear out there on the air, it's already been cleaned up. If we ever yell at each other on the show, you don't even want to know what it sounded like on the break.
All right, we have to take a quick commercial break. You guys are on the Realty Ruckus. We'll be right back.
Hey everyone, this is David over at White Picket Realty, and I wanted to tell you about my friends over at Plans Express who can save you the headache of running your own permits. These guys are committed to offering a one-stop solution for all your plan and permit needs. They're proudly serving their friends and neighbors in the Houston surrounding areas, and they offer great service at an exceptional value. With dedicated professionals ready to serve, contact them today at 832-675-6217.
Hey Houston, this is Alan Hernandez, and I want to remind you guys to visit our friends over at Quest IRA to learn everything there is to learn about investing with your IRA. Now, if you haven't been over there recently, you have to check them out. They have free educational classes, networking opportunities, the ability to tap into $1 billion for your real estate investing deals. These are the guys to know when it comes to learning about this kind of stuff. You want to make sure you visit them and check them out over at www.questira.com. Again, that's questira.com.
Stop searching and start staying in the know with our Houston Real Estate Events page on Facebook. Follow us by searching at Houston Real Estate Events to stay up to date on the latest events for real estate in the Houston area. If you're interested in having your event on our page, please email me at david@whitepicketrealty.com. Again, that's david@whitepicketrealty.com. Non-paid events only. One more time, find us on Facebook at Houston Real Estate Events, and we'll see y'all at the next one.
What do you love about White Picket?
I love that we work together as a team.
I love being professional while having fun.
I love the innovative approach we take every day.
I love the support we get to grow our business.
We love White Picket.
And I love empowering the next generation of realtors to live life by their own design. If you're looking to grow, come grow with us. Email join@teamwpr.com. Again, that's join@teamwpr.com.
And we are back on Realty Ruckus. Remember that you can find us live on Facebook and YouTube, where you chat with us during the show. We can answer your questions live on the air. Now, it's funny because we were just having a conversation about Zillow Trulia. We don't even think anyone listens to this damn show. And literally, as soon as we got done, and we get a message through the Facebook Messenger on the White Picket page that says, oh my God, so does that mean I need to cut out Zillow and Trulia? Look, we're not here giving you advice on that. We're just telling you what we think.
Yeah.
I don't personally like Zillow Truly. I think it's a waste of money. The leads that we got on there were no good. We only ever closed like one or two deals that made a difference.
Sense, yeah.
And you spend a fortune, and you're dealing with really difficult people who aren't serious.
They're not real high quality leads.
No, they're not actual real buyers, and they're not real sellers. It's just kind of looky-loos. Isn't that what they call them? Looky-loos.
Yeah, so the process of converting those leads is really, really difficult. You have to be able to really have someone with a lot of patience to actually put a lot of time into making those happen. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm saying they can provide the leads just like all sorts of other places can provide leads.
Yeah.
The difference is that Zillow is putting us to work against each other and trying to get into the business, take us out of the business essentially, whereas other companies are there to service us.
Adam Bishop, he's known us for a really long time. He said, strangling each other? I don't believe it one bit. And yes, David Garcia.
I can hear the sarcasm.
I actually have heard about homes.com, and while we're talking about online lead generation, no one told me if it was effective or not. The only one that I know that everyone said, hey, this one's pretty good, it's pretty effective, was realtor.com.
Realtor.com
had pretty good reviews, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's probably a better place for you to park your money regardless, because I believe realtor.com is actually it's actually sponsored or created by, it's either TAR or NAR.
It's the National Association of Realtors.
NAR.
Yeah, it's sponsored by them.
Yeah, those that's our people helping our people. That's us really helping each other out.
Yeah, and it's real people going to realtor.com and they fill in their information and they find a realtor that way. And what's really nice about it is they don't do like Zillow Trulia where they send the lead to 3 people.
Yeah.
It gets 1 lead per 1 person.
Yeah.
And then if you want to get resent to another person, you gotta keep going on the lead processing. So
absolutely.
All right,
so we hope that answers their question.
Yeah. Let's jump into our tip of the day.
Okay, well, let's talk about what it takes to continuously deliver referrals.
Okay.
And here's one thing that I think a lot of people really, really forget. You ready for this?
I know what it is, and I think that when people hear this, they're going to be like, what? This is the tip of the day? That's the big secret, but here's the thing. You're not doing it.
You're not.
And you're leaving money on the table because it's incredibly effective.
Yeah. So the big secret is send out handwritten notes. You would be surprised what sending a handwritten note does for your clients. And actually, that's just that's just the tip of the iceberg on what you can do with those. You can really implement those into your business on every aspect. Every time there's a change in the client, every time you've updated them with something, every time you have a win or a celebration, you can be sending those. It costs you a couple cents.
I'm glad you went through those. Let's go through the list of reasons you can send a handwritten note, because I get that a lot. I tell people, hey, you should send some handwritten notes, and they always go, for what?
Yeah.
Like, why am I sending a handwritten note? I don't know when to send one. I thought you only send one when you close the deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should give one when you close the deal, but there's a lot of other opportunities to give a handwritten note and ask for the referral.
If you've sent it out at the end, you've missed out approximately 6 to 10 opportunities.
And see, most people would be like, what? 10 opportunities when?
Yeah. And it should be done really at every major step of the way.
Yeah.
So as soon as you meet with that client,
the very first time
you meet with them, you've had that first conversation, you've sat down and explained the process of selling or buying, whatever it is that you're doing. And this could be for loan officers, this could be for investors too, who have sat down with a client and said, hey, I'm getting ready to make a cash offer. Whatever it is you do in the industry, the first time that you meet with that client, you should already have a handwritten note in your pocket ready to ready to just put into the mail and have it delivered to them in the next day or so.
I agree. And I think that another one that people forget about is if that came to you through a referral, you better get a handwritten note out immediately to the person that gave you that referral. Guys, reward good behavior. I get tired of agents who say, well, I give $100 or $300 or $500 when the deal closes. God, you're rewarding them based off of your performance and ability to close that deal. People can't sit around and wait that long. They would rather get a handwritten note right then and there that says, thank you so much for the referral. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, and you know, as you're doing this, there's ways or things that you need to be doing along the way just to make sure that you're well prepared for that. So keeping track of the notes that you're sending is important. You can do that through your CRM. Every time you send out a note, drop a little note on there. Make sure that you're scheduling time for writing those too. So part of your prospecting should include a couple seconds. I mean, I'm talking about 30 seconds, right?
Yeah, we always talk about this. How long does it really take to write a note? And let's say you're a really slow writer. Your hand starts to hurt, right? 2 minutes max?
I'm thinking maybe a minute. Brandon is telling me he can write one in 1 minute.
But Brandon is young and youthful.
but here's the thing.
He's got good hands.
And one of the things that he's going to tell you is that we are going to keep those notes very short and straight to the point. We're not writing a whole column on it. You know? It's hey, thank you for the referral. I really appreciate it.
So that's a good tip right there.
Yeah.
Keep it simple.
Keep it really, really simple. If you've got more than 2 sentences, you've written too much. Real short, real simple, and move forward. And make it fun. Obviously, be well stocked on having a bunch of those with you at all times, but make it fun. So that is your tip of the day. We hope that you implement that into your business so that it changes and revolutionizes the way that people are referring your name to other people who can come to you for services.
That's
all right.
Awesome.
What other events do we have coming up?
So if you didn't go on Tuesday, you missed out on our biggest happy hour ever.
That was one of the best.
360 people. I mean, we packed out St. Arnold, and we're may even have to be looking for a new venue next year because I think we're getting too big even for the brewery. It was packed in there. We had really, really delicious tacos, even though one person apparently didn't like them, and he let me know that by email.
By the way, we know you're watching.
Mediterranean food.
We know you're watching and that you're upset that you didn't get Mediterranean food. Tough. Tacos are part of what we deliver. Like it or not, all right? So upcoming events that we have, I'm pulling up the events calendar right now, but the upcoming events that we have, so next week, we're doing a WPR Discovery Day. That's Wednesday the 18th. That's from 2 to 4 p.m. It's going to be down here at the Papa's Barbecue off of 59 South and Bel Air. And at WPR Discovery Day, this is for any agent who's out there that's been considering moving their license. This is the time of year that everyone says, all right, I'm going to go find my new brokerage. I'm going to go find a place that really works for me. And so if you want to come out and find out what makes us so awesome, why people are so attracted to our brokerage, this is your chance to do that. Now, after that, we're going to be doing a small little mixer here for everybody at the office. And from there, we're going to be heading over to the Renters Warehouse Jet Lending event. Happy hour at the Redneck Country Club from 6 to 9 p.m. We're going to make an entire event out of coming
it's going to be a day.
Coming over and discovering what White Picket Realty can do to help you explode your business. And everything that we're going to be sharing is inside information on the tools and services that we deliver to all of our agents, as well as the vision that we have for expansion, what we have in terms of offices opening up, what our offices look like, not just here, but the future ones that we're getting ready to open up. So this is not an event that you want to miss. This is a great time to start planning how you're going to have a successful 2018. Now, on top of that, we have another really awesome event coming up, and that's the WPR Fall Festival.
Yes.
So Fall Festival happens for us once a year. This is where all of our agents get a chance to bring their friends, their family members, their dogs, their, whatever, you name it, kids, babies. We want to make sure that everyone out there is also aware of it because you guys are all invited as well. You're part of our community. We want to hang out with you. It's a potluck event. You bring a food tray. You play a game, you play football with us or go biking or just hang out and listen to music, maybe do some pumpkin carving. It's an event filled with fun. We can't wait to share it with you guys. Stay tuned on all of these events by visiting our page at Houston Real Estate Events on Facebook. and we'll keep you updated on other events that we have coming up there as well. Is there anything else we have to deliver to our audience?
No, man,
today?
we got to get going. We got
Awesome.
The audience has had plenty of us for one day.
Thank you guys for joining us today. We really appreciate your time, and we can't wait to see you next time. Don't forget that we're on every Tuesday and Thursday from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Don't forget to keep up your ruckus, and we'll see you next time.
This has been the Realty Ruckus. Make sure and join us every Tuesday and Friday for new episodes. Find us on YouTube and Facebook for replays of previous episodes. And as always, keep elevating yourself and keep up your ruckus. Thanks for listening. Realty Ruckus has been brought to you by Smart Pig Media Productions.